Hi, it's Troy from Torqn, and we're here today to showcase an exciting company up in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales called Elite Industrial Equipment. I have Mark Greaves here today, who's the product manager. And we're going to showcase a product that they've designed that will improve safety and productivity across a large range of heavily industrial equipment in the mining sector. So welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Troy.
So look, just give me an elevator pitch in terms of the company and its history and where you're at today.
So Elite started in 2010 to service the underground coal mines here in the Hunter Valley, mainly with consumable products like cable hangers and ventilation product. And then in 2012, they acquired a company called Alpine Tech, which held the patents for the powered mirrors. And since then, we've taken the powered mirror around the world. Lots of product trials and lots of development to refine to the product that we've got now.
So for those who aren't aware, on my right here is a product which doesn't look that small, but it does fit into a large dump truck, an excavator, and it fits a cat and Komatsu. But tell me a bit more about the product and what it does.
So the powered mirror makes it just like your car. So you can adjust the mirror from the comfort of the cab, which reduces downtime for the mining operators. So the current method is to call the technician who will come out from the workshop with some 9/16 spanners. He'll loosen 6 nuts and adjust the mirror while the operator tells him which way to go. But if he's 6'2" and he adjusts the mirror for how he needs it, and then he gets out and someone who's 4'6" jumps in, they need the mirror adjusted again. So it's a continual problem for the mines, and it contributes to a huge amount of downtime.
And I expect now with, I guess, the demographic of the workforce changing, you've still got the big bulky men that drive the dump trucks, but yet you've got smaller petite women that are now driving the dump trucks as well. So the settings are quite different. So how long does it take to adjust the mirror, and what sort of benefit does the mining company get from having one of these installed or a pair of these installed?
Yeah, so currently average turnaround time for a mirror adjustment is 45 minutes. And that's if there's someone available to go and do it. So with the powered mirrors, it's instant. The operator can do it straight away themselves, and it eliminates that downtime completely. It also increases productivity in relation to spot times as well. So if the operator can't see properly, they can't hit the mark first time, so it might take them 2 or 3 goes to get underneath the shovel. But if their mirrors are adjusted properly and they have good vision, they can put the truck in the right spot first go.
That's great, and I've seen at sites too that sometimes these mirrors sit on the outside of the work platform, so it's not as easy as just adjusting it with a 9/16 spanner, is it?
No, that's right. On some sites it's required to have an elevated work platform to get up and reach the mirrors. So these mirrors can sit anywhere from 4.5 to 7.5 metres above the ground, and anywhere from 500 mil to 1500 mil off the handrail.
So in the mining industry at the moment, with coking coal prices at $300 US a tonne, a 45-minute uplift in productivity is huge.
Huge, yeah. Anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000 an hour if that truck's standing still, depending on how many cycles they do per hour.
And where's the product at the moment in terms of testing, prototyping and go-to-market? How far off are you scaling the business out?
So we're go-to-market now. We've done a lot of trials around the world in South America and also here in Australia. We've had our failures, we've had our repairs and our improvements to the product, and the product that we've got now is great. We've had them on trucks for over 2 years with no faults. And we're moving into the next phase, which is to roll it out globally. Some big players are starting to look at fitting out whole fleets, a BHP site and a Yancoal site, looking at installing the whole fleet.
And in terms of, I'm looking at one product on the right here, mining sector is one target market, but I look across the construction sector, which Torqn's moving into next month. That must be a huge market as well that you're looking at.
Yeah, construction is a huge market. We are building a smaller version or developing a smaller version for other rubber-tired equipment, smaller equipment like the articulated dump trucks and graders and loaders and things like that.
Just seems too simple. Why hasn't someone done this before?
Vibration. Vibration is a huge issue.
Okay.
If you think about where the mirrors are situated outboard of the handrail on the truck, you've got huge vibrational forces there, and it's not in any one particular direction. It's going all over the place all the time. When we did some vibration studies, we were seeing shock loads of up to 2.5 G. So to overcome that vibration, it took a lot of development and some tricky little engineering pieces and some self-lubricating nylon materials to eliminate some of those vibration points.
And what's been the general feedback from the users?
Users, operators, 100% positive feedback. They think it's so simple, it's so familiar. It's just like jumping in your car. You have a rocker switch to choose which side you wish to adjust, and it's left, right, up, down, just like your car. So the operators take to it straight away. It's so familiar and they love it, because if operational conditions change during the shift, they can change their mirrors to suit.
Yep.
So if they go to offside loading, for example, they can lift the mirror up so they can see the top line of the body. If they're reversing into a hopper or a dump, they can lower the mirror down so they can see the rear wheels. So it just makes it so much more safer and more efficient for them.
And so I assume these are a 24 volt unit, they plug into the existing power supply on the vehicle?
Yep, so 24 volt feed from the host vehicle and everything else is plug and play.
And you guys come and install the whole lot? Or what's the commercial model? Do they lease them or do they buy them outright and you fit them? Or
buy them outright, and we train their personnel how to do the installs, and an install takes less than a shift. So it's quite simple to bolt up, and then, as I said, everything's plug and play.
That's fantastic. I think it's a great invention. It's one of those things that are small improvements in the mining sector that has huge benefits. And I think some of these things that are innovative but not core business to the large manufacturers, they overlook that. But from an operator's perspective and a mine site, an employer's perspective, there's huge benefit in having something like this.
Absolutely.
So the plan at the moment is to go Australia-wide, then offshore?
We're already starting to dip our toe into the export market. We've got mirrors installed in Peru, we've got a distributor in Chile, in Brazil. Vale are about to start a trial in Brazil. We have mirrors, having a distributor in South Africa as well. So yeah, we're kind of doing a bit of a global push, with of course Australia being the first focus because it's our backyard, right?
Yeah.
But we are also doing the export push. So we tried to make the powered mirror as familiar to the operator as driving their own car. So when you get into a car these days, every car's got electrically adjustable mirrors. It's got a rocker switch for left and right, so you can choose which side you wish to adjust, and then a simple left, right, up, down keypad, which controls the movements. It's quite smooth, it's quite fast, so an operator can go from looking at the top line of the body to looking down at the jewels in a matter of seconds.
So look, Mark, having done a bit of work across the mining sector, you look at some of these mines in Western Australia, particularly the iron ore sector that's got huge amounts of trucks moving around. I've been to sites that have got sort of 60, 70, 793 dump trucks moving around. What's the business case for the mining companies in this? It must be quite large.
It is, it's huge. Depending on the site and the operating conditions, if they're operating 24/7, they could have up to 4 operators in that truck any day. And as we spoke about before, you could go from a big burly 6'5" guy down to a petite 4'6" lady who needs the mirrors adjusted before she can operate. You know, there's a lot of safety around operating ergonomically as well. So if they do operate with poorly adjusted mirrors, they can be craning their neck to see and reaching forward, and they're not sitting comfortably, which could also contribute to strain injuries. So having correctly adjusted mirrors is a big thing for the operator.
And it could be, you say, anywhere between 15 and 45 minutes saving.
Absolutely.
On any shift change where they need to call out a tradesman and adjust the mirrors between those shifts.
Mm-hmm. So, and the return on investment's quite fast. It's a relatively low cost product for the amount of benefit that the operators will see. We did a trial in Peru, and after 3 months they reported an increased availability of 1% on the equipment, which is the equivalent of an engine change. So that's a huge return on investment.
That is, you talk to the mining companies about a 1% improvement in productivity, I'm sure they'd be very, very interested, particularly with the capital outlay. It's not huge when you look at the cost for putting these on a major piece of mining equipment.
No, it's quite low cost in terms of the size of the equipment. You know, we're talking an $8 million truck, and this is quite a low cost product in terms of the scale of the whole product.
So given this is a relatively simple change, there is a lot of processes on site that are required for managing change and risk on large equipment. Can you just walk us through your change management process and how you can support the operators?
Absolutely. We supply a complete change management package with life cycle costing, operator training, maintenance training. We have all the manuals and documentation that's required, MDG 15 compliance statements. So we provide a complete change management package to assist the end user to speed up the implementation process and basically make their job easy for them.
Yeah, that's great. And what sort of maintenance is required? Looks pretty simple. A couple actuators. Looks like there's a control box down there for the power supply. What sort of maintenance is required?
So it's virtually maintenance free. Visual inspections at the 2-year mark, change out some of the bushings. At the 5-year mark, we're changing actuators and things, but it's very low maintenance.
Yeah. I saw, this is how we come across you, Mark. We launched Torqn and you were one of the first people to post your innovation in there, which was fantastic for you and us. What sort of feedback you had since you posted it into the application?
We've had a lot of inquiries through Torqn. People's comments are very positive, and operators and maintenance personnel saying, wow, I wish they had these on my site. The word's been spread around throughout the Torqn app. I've also listed it as a product improvement for a few different models of truck, and we're starting to get some feedback from mining companies and operators alike to say, hey, contact this person because we need these on our site. So it's definitely a great platform for us, and we'll continue to use Torqn as a bit of a sounding board for elite powered mirrors.
And it's, I guess, for us now too, given our global footprint in 125 countries, I think it is at the moment, it's quite hard to reach a global audience, particularly of your end users. But that's really why Torqn was there, to actually get this information into the hands of the end users real time, which has been great to see.
Yeah. How many users on Torqn now?
45,000.
Wow, that's incredible.
And I think predominance of, in terms of the users, largest is Australia. Next largest would be South America, which is quite interesting because they haven't got the level of support that the miners in Australia have. US, Canada and South America is probably the largest countries of users, but a very large contingent in South Africa, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, excellent.
So look, Mark, this is at the heart of why we set Torqn up. These small innovations that make a huge difference in the workplace, often are hard to come across, hard to find because they're not sold by the large manufacturers. And a small incremental benefit like this can have huge benefits for the company, particularly when you line 2 or 3 of these initiatives up. Have you got any sort of data or case studies that support what sort of benefit a mining company could get from installing these mirrors?
Sure, Troy, yeah. When we were doing some negotiations with some mining companies in the West, they were reporting up to 300 hours a month downtime associated
a month
associated with mirror adjustments. Sometimes that data can be a little bit dirty because it might not be a mirror adjustment, it might be a breakage or something else, but 300 hours of downtime associated with mirrors per month. Elite Power mirrors completely eliminate that downtime. It gives the operator the control to adjust the mirrors anytime during shift.
That's amazing. 300 hours is a huge number. I'm sure you'll get a lot of the mining executives' attention when you look at the statistics in terms of what this can do for very little investment.
Absolutely.
So look, Mark, this could take off pretty quickly given the amount of machines that's operating around the world. How are you geared up to support all your clients given that it will be a global marketing campaign?
Troy, we've set up a network of agents and distributors around the world. We've got spare parts holdings with all of our distributors around the world, and we've chosen strategic locations, like for example in Brazil, in Belo Horizonte, in Chile, we're in Copiapo. So it's central to the mining regions. We've also got distributors here in Australia as well. So we're working on that distributor model, and we're making sure that our distributors are equipped with all the tools that they need to assist with installation, after sales service, training, and spare parts on site.
Oh, that's great, but they can't throw out their 9/16 adjustment spanner this early, eh? You've got to get one on board first.
Exactly. You get one fitted and then you can throw away that.
What other products do you provide to the mining industry, Mark?
So a lot of consumable products for underground mining, cable hangers and ventilation products like pogo sticks and brattis, vent bands, basically the consumables that are used in the development process in underground mining.
Okay, and what's the next 3 years look like? Where do you think you'll be in 3 years' time with these new innovations you're putting into the market?
Very busy, I think. Yeah, the mirrors are starting to take off, and yeah, it's going to be a great 3 years ahead. We've got Wine Expo this year, so we're looking forward to getting over to Las Vegas and showcasing the powered mirrors there. And we're also trying to grow the core business as well with the consumables, moving into the tunnels a little bit further as well, because they use the same products. So yeah.
And they're all made on site here at your premises, or?
The powered mirrors are all made here in the Hunter Valley. Yeah, we're passionate about Australian manufacturing, and we want to continue to manufacture them here in the Hunter Valley.
So there you have it. I know that they've got a range of other products here, Elite as well, but if you're looking for productivity improvement and safety improvement on your equipment, on your mine site or your construction site, the team here at Elite have got a great solution that seems very, very simple, very effective, and can be implemented very quickly. They are a small family-owned business up here in the Hunter Valley, and I'm sure if you reached out to Mark and the team up here, they'd be more than interested to give you some more information.